Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Strawberry.
7 different flavors of the Ricola. These are honey and herb.
I got strawberry and cream. Pause. It ain't as bad as.
Oh, that's the fruit breezers, man.
That's candy, man.
That's a step up from a Luden's cough drop right there. You remember Luden's, right? Be like,
Yeah.
man, I got a cough. Can I get some Luden's?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that made my cough go away for 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
I need another one.
Can I have another one now? Like, we're just gonna buy peppermint. That'll make the cough go away longer.
That's good. So, welcome to the Within Earshot Podcast. This is the podcast studio. If you guys have been following along with us on Spotify or Apple or any of the other streaming sites that we're on video. Here we go. So on this episode, sorry,
So I don't want to
yeah.
wave to the camera.
Wave to the camera.
Kyle.
Hey, what's up?
You didn't follow instructions, man.
So on this episode, we're going to explore the magic of Christmas and dive into the nostalgia of the 80s and 90s holiday era. We're all from that era, and we thought maybe our first episode should be about Christmas because it's going to be released on Christmas. So if you're listening to us today, it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, and hoes and hoes.
That's right. Was that boats and hoes?
Yeah, boat and hoes. Boat and hoes.
I hope you got everything that you asked for, and I hope you're grateful for what you have today. So, my name's Eric. For anybody just joining us, to the right of me, I have Shannon. To the left, I have Kyle. We refer to him as Cool Squirrel. He's got a couple of other aliases. They're not coming to mind right now, but I'm sure they may hear it down the road. And we're really just 3 guys from Kentucky, just kind of unwrapping the memories of Christmas traditions and reflecting on what the holidays was like growing up. So, how's everybody been doing?
Not health-wise, not so well.
Say the sick people on either side of your table, man. We're great.
Yeah.
We're good to go. We're fine.
I think everybody's been pretty much sick. You
Yeah.
guys had it way worse than me. But
I got my cough drops over here for later on. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. We're
Got
good.
the whole ear infection thing going on now, so I drug anchor and got in here.
So, there's a lot of people sick. Shannon, you're a school teacher. How many students you have out in the past couple weeks?
Oh, I have 96 total kids, and like one day we had 22 out.
22.
So that's a large percentage. I had one class that had 8 kids in the class.
Is there any like diagnosis coming from? Is it like they say the stomach flu, or is it obviously strep? I know it's going
Yeah,
around.
we had strep, stomach bug, and the flu.
And the
has
flu.
been going around all the
Okay.
schools. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Well,
I ain't had none of that, but
you didn't go to the doctor, did you? 'Cause you was out there for a hot minute, weren't you? Feeling pretty rough.
mm-hmm.
Actually, you've been sick for what? 6 weeks?
Yeah, about 6 weeks I had that junk. I probably could have had some of the COVID. Who knows? But
Got some of that KV.
KV. Yeah.
well, Eric's going to drink like a gallon of orange juice after we leave. Like, nope, sorry, people, I don't need what you got.
No, man, I've done had something. I
That
had
part I'm
something.
about over with. It's just my ear now. It's been bothering me. I've had problems with them for a long time, but last couple of weeks it's been really hurting. It felt like he was just sticking a dull knife in the side of my ear.
Mm.
And he was trying to it was like you're trying to get something out with a dull knife, and it needs to be a sharp knife. That's how it felt.
You should never do anything with a dull knife. Just
Yeah, dull knife, not a
Right.
good idea.
spread butter, right? That's all you do with a dull knife.
With a knife, period. Use as directed, okay?
All right. So we're going to move on into our first topic here. This topic delves into the heart of the Christmas traditions themselves. We're looking at significant, important things, timeless customs, decorating the tree, annual family feasts. Looking at this, we're going to discuss how these traditions have created lasting memories and reinforced that Christmas spirit during the holiday season. We're going to start over there with you, Kyle.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. What are some of your Christmas memories? Decorating the tree or that family meal?
That's going way back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you can go back as far as you want to there. I mean,
I guess in the 80s and 90s, maybe.
Yeah, because I was in the 80s. I was a young pup. I was less than 10, but...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Christmas memories. A lot of my memories I remembered from then was how we couldn't wait until Christmas morning came. How we just was so excited to get up and do Christmas. Growing up in the South was way different than our traditions we had up here.
Yeah.
So when we grew up down in the South, as our listeners probably do not know, I'm from Alabama, South Alabama. So we would do Christmas like Christmas morning, and we would have like a big Christmas breakfast. And then after Christmas, we'd go to the river and go swimming. 'Cause it was so warm in the Christmas time where we was at. It'd be like 70s, 80s degree weather. So we'd go swimming. We go out there and swim, and then we come back and just play with all of our Christmas stuff that we had. And we had more toys than probably what we needed because a lot of stuff got broken. And it's like, don't worry, I'll ask Santa next year for another one. And mysteriously, there'll be another one there underneath the tree the next year.
sounds like these guys are easy. Just bring the same thing every year.
Yeah,
all right. You just put it on back order every time.
Just keep it simple, man.
I remember down there we used to have real trees. Mom always had real trees. And I remember the last Christmas before I moved away from down there, she had this white tree. It looked like the one at the Rockefeller Center. I mean, it's a huge tree, and she got it flocked, so it was all white. This thing drink more water than a dang camel in the desert. I promise you, this thing would you had to water it like twice a day, every day, for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before Christmas. And then after Christmas is over, we try to preserve it up until like New Year's. And I'm really not for sure what we did after that with that tree. I don't know if it made it to the burn pile or... I think one time we tried to plant one again to see how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't for sure if that one made it or not. 'Cause we had cattle. We had a few cows and stuff out there and a couple horses. So I don't know if we planted it and one of the animals used it as a rubbing post and took it out or what happened. So... mainly it was a lot to do, our family and things going on around that time that really, that resonated with me and held on for all them years. Then when we come up here, it was more of, we couldn't wait to get the Christmas meal because it was like a buffet.
Big buffet, big spread, huh?
Yeah, anything you wanted. If you left or went outside or anything and you was hungry, it was your own fault. Up here, my folks didn't ask you if you wanted more. I mean, you big boy, you go get more if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And people would come over and eat too, and they take food with them. Because Mom did not like leftovers. She's like, no, I don't have enough room in my fridge to put half of this stuff back in it.
That's right. Everybody gets to take 2 plates with them.
She said, take with you, go. So it was, we ate good at Christmas time. And then I try to do some of that stuff now with my family. And we eat good. We don't have to do as much running now. My wife's folks and them lives right next door, so we just ride the golf cart over there and do Christmas. And then I just drive across town to my family's. and do Christmas there with them. So it ain't too bad now. It's like a lot less running that we have to do.
All right. So,
Okay.
Eric, how about you, man? How about your Christmas decorating of trees or family meals?
Man, we did not do well. We did the tree, but I didn't participate doing the tree. I just, for whatever reason, I'd come home from school and it'd be up. It almost like it is now. Like, you know, my wife, it looks like a Hallmark store up front, up top, and you know, and it's beautiful. She does a fantastic job, but she gets it all done while I'm usually out. So I come home and I'm like, oh look, it's Hallmark or it's Hobby Lobby. Come on in. Which it's beautiful, and I'm making a joke at it, but it's very, very beautiful. And but the tree was always done up usually while I was still in school before Christmas break. But I just remember that time of year. I remember a few things. I was fat, extremely fat, and I loved the winter because I could dress comfortably. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, man.
You know what I'm
That's how I live my life all the time.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Like, see, you guys are rocking out your sweatshirts right now. I'm like, it's 40 outside. This T-shirt is perfectly fine.
That's true. You are very hard-natured. I will give you that. But I didn't really participate in setting up the tree. I was really more focused in just, I couldn't wait till Christmas break got there. You know, the school leading up, and I'm thinking about when I was a kid, school leading up to Christmas time was really fun, especially right before break, because we had stuff to do. We didn't really do a lot of work. We had some final testing and stuff, but we kind of goofed off. Had arts and crafts. Everybody brought candy, and Lord knows I enjoyed that. And I always had to wrestle with, am I eating too much? Is it okay to go back for seconds and thirds? Is anybody else doing that? No. But
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I know. Not now, of course. I mean, I don't give a crap if you don't like it or not. If I want some more, I'm coming back. Unless it's, make sure everybody else is eating. But everybody's kind of, you scope out the room and everybody's kind of done. All right, going back. But my biggest memories from Christmas time was watching The Christmas Story. Like, that was a huge part of my Christmas every year, as far back as I can remember. And just before I found out Santa wasn't real, just the special, the majesty of Santa and coming into the house and being a good boy, and you want to stay up late to try to hear if he comes in the house, and so forth. And if you guys had with your kids, you've done it too. Playing Santa and staying up till wee hours in the night, putting the toys together and so forth. In terms of the meal, though, we had a meal. We always had a meal. It was a good meal. It was all home, fresh cooked stuff. We didn't have a lot of people over at the house. Like, I think, Randy, y'all would come over when you were there, but y'all had your own thing too. But we would just have like a dinner, and they would cook on it all. They'd start cooking early in the morning. As soon as we got presents open, they'd start cooking, and they made everything there. They brought everything there. We made everything at the house, and we'd probably eat maybe in the afternoon, maybe about 2:00 or something like that. I remember looking forward to the meal, and then going back and watching Christmas Story again, and just I liked it because I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to report to anybody. I had to work to be done. I could kind of do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it, and it was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were throw a blind eye to cleaning the house and all
no
that.
chores have to be done. It's just a day.
Yeah. It was a good time. That's really what stands out to me initially about the traditions. There would usually be some sort of an argument during the day. Somebody get mad at something for some reason. That was big in our family, of just getting pissed off.
I mean, you have people together all day who aren't normally together all day long.
Well, no, I mean, we didn't have that. We had people that lived in the house. We had a lot of people that lived there for a little while. I was the baby and everything. I didn't have any brothers and sisters, but I had 3 aunts, and they were basically my sisters. So we had them and their boyfriends or husbands and the kids there for a minute, and before they kind of left the house for good. But yeah,
And me, whenever I'd come up, when I moved up,
mm-hmm.
and I did bounce back and forth all day long, and he'd bounce back and forth over my place all day long.
yeah.
After we did the family thing in the mornings and actually did Christmas.
Yeah, that was something else I enjoyed, was just going outside. If it was warm or slightly cold, if it wasn't freaking snow on the ground, even if it was snow on the ground, we'd make our way out. But we would just go outside and we just play around. And let's go to the woods. Let's go find something to do. Ride four-wheelers or ride bicycles, whatever. That was really fun. But it was just it was freedom. I felt like I could do whatever I wanted.
We get snacks all day long. I'm done riding four. Let's go get a snack. Yeah, let's go do that. We'll warm up.
You know,
Hour later, we go back outside.
Warm up. I that's what stands out. I miss those times, and I don't miss them as if I wish they would happen now, because it's
Way less responsibility then.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Felt like we could do whatever we wanted. And that was the day we could get away with just about anything.
And we did. I mean, we did some stupid stuff
We did a
back in
lot
the
of
day.
crazy stuff back then.
I remember just thinking when he was talking about being up from the South and growing up from the South. I'll never forget. I don't know when he told me this, but I never forgot it. We were talking, and I think it was during the summertime. It was hot as balls. It was just stupid hot, and he could withstand it for some reason like nothing. And he was out there, and he's like, "Yeah, back in Alabama, I usually be burning stumps out today." I'm like, "What? It's hot as hell. You be standing in front of a fire?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All day." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm. That's true.
you the real MVP. I can't handle that."
Wow.
That's true. I needed extra money for one summer one time, and I told Mom we had a little farm there. We had farming. We had some couple cows. Had this old grumpy ass bull. Then we had like 2 horses. And I was like, I want to make some extra money over the summer. She said, well, they had a bunch of land cleared off there at our place, and the guys that came and cut the trees didn't cut them all the way down to ground. They leave like 2 or 3 foot up of the stump. So that was my job for a summer, is I got paid $10 a stump to burn all them stumps out. So the animals didn't hit them and trip on them, and we was cleaning up the property. So yeah, it'd be like 80, 90, 100. I'm out there in my little tank top and my Urkel shorts and my socks up to my knees,
Wow.
burning stuff. He remembers that outfit
Yeah.
when I first came up.
I remember, we said this again on the podcast before, but I remember I was mowing the grass next door, and I remember this fool getting out of the damn Blue Thunderbird looking like, he had spiked hair, a mullet, he had some big old glasses on, no, you had sunglasses on.
I might have had sunglasses on.
You had blue, a baby blue shirt, tank top, yellow shorts, some white sneakers, and some pulled up tube socks, and I was just like, all right, then. That's going to be my neighbor.
I feel like I said this last time, but I'd love to see a picture of this. Gosh.
Yeah.
I got pictures. I'll have to bring the memory book in one day
Yes.
and let you check it out. I got a lot of
That would be
This
young
must be
pictures.
seen. This must be seen, man.
I got a couple albums of pictures when I was little.
Throw a couple of those on Facebook for the world to see.
okay.
I got some with clothes on, some without. But
But we probably have to do the ones with clothes.
Best step, we don't want to get shut down out of the gate,
yeah, yeah, I remember some of them pictures. I remember some of them times, not all of them, but some of them. I remember that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we moved and we lived all over the place.
Did you guys really have to think about? I mean, you've left your notes and it's fine, but did you really have to think
No.
about? No. Okay. All right.
No.
I had to sit down, oh yeah, what did I really like?
I think one of them
about
I did.
as a kid.
One of them I had to really dig and think about it. Researching online, no.
I had the only thing I
think
had verify was difference between 80s and 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Because there was you go 88 and 92 and stuff is pretty much the same from 88 and 92.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's kind of rewind back to those 80s and 90s and a time when Christmas was better than a birthday, honestly.
Yes.
We're going to try to focus on the atmosphere of that era, filled with classic movies, iconic toys, See if you guys remember some of these toys, and it's the thrill of waiting for Santa. And in addition to that, we're going to kind of share some personal anecdotes and explore how like pop culture shaped our holiday experiences. So Shannon, let's rewind to your childhood and let's kind of explore, all those things.
All right.
I figure out of all the people that had the most toys, it was you.
I'm the nerdiest person at the table. Yes, I had lots of toys, friends. But I'm not. We're gonna get there, man. We'll get there. I got a list of things. Not even necessarily toys from me. I just got toys that were popular, and then I got my toys as well.
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
All right. So first of all, I love Christmas. Like Christmas is my favorite. I have a T-shirt for every day of Christmas. Everybody, I love everything about Christmas. I decorate my tree. I do it all. Only thing I don't do is I don't put lights up outside because I don't decorate for other people. I decorate for me. So I'm not trying to show off to other people.
That is a T-shirt.
You go inside. There's 4 Christmas trees in my house. I don't even put one in the window for people to see. Like no.
There's how many?
There's 4.
That's what I'm talking
There's
about.
4 Christmas trees.
We got 4.
Got a Green Bay Packer Christmas tree downstairs.
I'd expect
Got
nothing
a
less.
cheesehead topper on top of it
That's
there and
awesome.
everything.
Are you kidding me? Wait, see, I've never seen that.
I can't show you a picture, man.
That's right.
I got a picture. I'll show you at the end there. But yeah,
We'll show you.
Yeah, I got it on there, man. I even bought me some new ornaments this year and everything.
Man.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to even put my tree up.
Damn, Scrooge.
What? You didn't put your tree up? Oh
I didn't
man.
even get a chance to put it up.
So we can't be friends anymore, man. I'm going to your house after this, and we're going to decorate the freaking tree. We're doing
I
this,
usually
man.
put lights up outside, and I do it inside and everything.
Bro, the first kid's Christmas, Landon's first Christmas, I was like Griswold. Do you remember my house over in Reedland?
Oh man, did you make the generators all like kick
Bro,
off everything?
I
It's
had
like,
to have. That house was outlined with white Christmas lights. The driveway was outlined. The garage. I was impressed. I
If
was
you went
very.
out there to the pole, you see that,
That's
that
awesome.
little disc on that meter going
Yeah.
zoom, zoom.
Because I remember that he pulled up. He's like, "Damn, Griswold, you making them big bucks, aren't you?" I'm like,
You can land a Cessna
like
in
no,
the driveway.
I got to go work me a second job to pay off this bill now. Oh my.
"Yeah."
Yeah, see, my parents would do that. I mean, they went all out. We had lights everywhere. It wasn't ever a thing for me. Like right now, in my house, I have like the little spotlight things, and they have like snowflakes on the front. I'm like, there we go. Put 2 little projectors on each side. Put wreaths up. I'm like, all right, everybody knows it's Christmas in here. But you walk inside, and
It's
then
different, yeah.
stuff happens as soon as
it's
you walk
really Christmas
inside.
in here.
You're like, dang, yes.
We're going to come by there and check that out.
Oh man,
'Cause I've never seen that. I've never seen that side of you.
what, dude? I love Christmas.
Me and Little Hand's going to swing by there one day and check it out.
Christmas is my favorite. I'm telling you, I love Christmas time. Like I have like 14 totes of Christmas decorations. I have to choose which ones I'm going to put up every year because I don't have enough room to put it all up.
Next year we could do an episode around the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah,
That's a good idea. Man.
there we go.
That's pretty cool.
And it's in this video too. So boom, we're ready to go.
All right.
All right, so
Back to the toys.
going back. Well, I'm going to start with movies first off. Movies and TVs.
All right.
We're going to do movies and TV shows. So going back to the 80s, the world was a little bit different than it is now. Because when something came on, you had to stop everything and watch it right then.
Yeah.
Because there was no DVR. There was no streaming. Like, Rudolph is coming on CBS at 7 o'clock. You better sit your butt down because at most that we played one more time, maybe on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. That's it.
Like, hey man, I gotta let you go. Like, wow, I
It's
gotta
like,
watch Rudolph. So I
Rudolph
gotta
is
go.
coming on right now. So, like, there were classics when we were little. Like, Rudolph and Frosty were classics back then because they had been around forever.
Yeah.
But, like, we're talking about like our 80s and 90s things. So, in my mind, I'm going back and I'm picking out a couple of things. So, I got Home Alone. 1990, straight up right in the middle there, Home Alone.
That's a good
Watch
one.
it to this day. Like, that was our first Christmas movie we watched this year because my daughter was like, Home Alone, right? We're doing Home Alone. So that Friday after Thanksgiving, we watched it.
Dude, that
Home
movie
Alone.
is so influential.
On so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just a staple of life right now. One
Now
of
they got-
one of my shirts is a Home Alone shirt. I wore that yesterday, else I would have worn that here today. But I mean, and kids could relate to it as a kid being left behind for Christmas. And, one of the things you're scared of when you're little is people breaking into your house. And it happens and you have no parents there. And you get to see the kid fight back and everything. And it's, got the heartwarming story of everything. It's a top-tier Christmas movie. And it holds up even today. I mean, it's
very good. It's very good. All the music selection, everything about it is just, it takes me back to being a kid.
It does. It's perfect. And then like the sequel that came out a few years later is still outstanding as well. And then there's
really
like Home Alone 2.
Oh yeah.
Boston, New York.
Yes. That's very good.
That's one of the few times that a sequel is still on par with there. But there's like 4 others that came and they were garbage. They're terrible ones there. You already hit on one, A Christmas Story.
Yes.
You'll shoot your eye out. Oh my goodness.
Freaking Ralphie, man.
Oh, Ralphie.
I love it, man. I
Oh
love Ralphie.
my goodness.
They got a
Ralphie.
second one of them. He's
Yeah.
grown up.
Oh
now.
yeah, I have not seen that one yet.
He's grown up. And
Yeah, it
he
came
has
out. Was it
kids.
last year or the year before it came out?
Yeah. He's got kids, and he takes his kids to his childhood home or in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
You know
he
what?
wants them to have Christmas like he did.
Oh, it's so good.
I have not seen that. I'm going to have to check that
Yes,
out.
I know. I remember it coming on last year. It was on like NBC or something like on ABC, something like that.
You won't. It'll be on closer to Christmas.
It took, I mean, that movie came out in the 70s, didn't it?
83.
Oh, 83.
Yep.
They didn't think it was going to do anything.
Oh no. Oh no.
They think it was going to be like a flop, and it just...
And the kicker, like it didn't at first, but like 10, 15 years later, it just became this cult classic of a movie that you watched. This movie made in the 80s that was based in the 50s.
I think it's
It was
50s,
the
yeah.
50s there with the Red Ryder BB gun and
Yeah.
everything.
And
And he's like, "Oh fudge!" He's
Yeah.
like, "But I didn't say it. I didn't say
I didn't
fudge."
say it. I didn't say fudge.
He was
Oh,
good.
man.
He was a good commentator for
Oh, he was
himself.
good.
Oh, my
man.
gosh,
He
it was so good.
I remember Ovaltine. He did the Ovaltine
Ovaltine.
Dakota ring.
Oh, the Dakota's like,
He was drink
more Ovaltine.
Like, shit.
What?
or something.
Like he
that.
waited for like weeks for that to come in the mail.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, good stuff. All right, I'm going to jump up into the 90s a little bit for my nerdiness, but Jingle All the Way with
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dude, we watched that the other night.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
Trying to get the Turbo Man. He's
You
like,
been working on that? That was good.
that says, I can't do the Chopper Man, but I can do the Turbo Man.
That was so good. Yeah, it was good.
Oh my goodness.
The Turbo
Did,
Man.
do you know it, man?
No.
I see that the look on your face is like just blankness happening.
No.
Oh man, so Arnold,
Arnold.
Arnold, he's in this comedy where he's like a corporate dad who's a terrible dad and forgets to get his son the toy of Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like Christmas Eve and the mom's like, "Did you get it?" And he goes, "Oh no, oh yeah, I got it, no problem." And then he tries to go right to the store to get it, and it's like it's sold out and everything, and
It's such a classic movie.
it's an adventure of him trying to get this, and then you find out it's not really about the toy itself. Like the boy wants to spend time with his dad and everything, and it has a great story and everything.
Yeah,
and it's,
like Turbo Man, or no, not Turbo Man. Excuse me. Phil Hartman was the neighbor.
yes,
That
Phil
tried
Hartman
to
was the
steal
neighbor.
his wife.
Sinbad was the mailman who was trying to fight him for that last toy because Sinbad did the exact same thing and waited, and they battled back and forth everywhere the whole time.
Gosh, you should
I
watch
might
that.
check that one
It's
out.
really good. I think like a year or two ago, they actually brought the toys out, like a Turbo Man toy, like the full size, like this big Turbo Man toy. I was like, am I going to try to buy Turbo Man? No, I'm not going to buy Turbo Man.
No.
I did not do it. I did not
Good
buy
call.
Turbo Man. I fought the urge, but I
That'd-
was really close to
That'd
getting
been
Turbo
tough,
Man.
man.
That'd been awesome. All right, then we're going to go like some more cartoony, a little back in time there, and I watched this today with my daughter as we were wrapping up some presents. Mickey's Christmas Carol. Did you ever watch Mickey's Christmas
Oh, yeah.
Carol? That's probably the first Christmas Carol movie that I'd ever watched.
That was back in the early 80s.
It was, man. Hold on, I got it. 1983 again with the Christmas Story there, and like as we watched it, it's like the third or fourth Christmas Carol we've watched, and Emma was like, "I think this might be my favorite Christmas story."
It's a classic. It's very good.
It's so good. It's amazing, and it's really good if you're a kid because honestly, if you watch like the live action ones, Marley and everything can be creepy, and then you get like Christmas Yet to Come, and it's just death pointing at stuff, and you're like, that's scary. But in this one, it's like Pete is like the Grim Reaper, and you see him, and you're like, oh, I know Pete. He's just the mean guy from Goofy and everything, and it's like, oh, it's all good to go.
It's a good one.
But it gives the exact same story and everything. Chipmunk Christmas. Chipmunk
the
Christmas.
Chipmunk Christmas.
The hula hoop song.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It takes me back immediately right there. I love that.
Gosh,
But
man, that's a good one.
that's
I
a
kind of
good.
forgot about that one.
That's 1981. Everybody.
I was just born.
That's early cusp right there. All right, and then I have an obscure one because I'm a nerd.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, because things only came on every once in a while, I had, it's probably my mom made it. Wasn't me, but I had a VHS of Christmas specials recorded, and like I could just put it in and play it and watch them. Like there was a Garfield Christmas was on there, and Alvin the Chipmunks was on there, but there was one that I loved that I remember so much, and I actually watched it on YouTube last year. It's a He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special.
Yes! That's what I'm talking
my
about.
gosh.
Dude, I loved that.
Oh,
I had
my-
that on video. I recorded it on video.
Yes.
And
Oh, man. Like, Kyle's like, man, y'all nerdy people, leave me be, man. Let me enjoy it, man. I'm telling
Go
you.
ahead, 'cause I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, my goodness.
bro, you were just what?
We were
Where
outside
were you?
playing.
Dude, I was He-Man was my jam.
It's so cheesy and terrible to watch now, but when you watch it as a kid, it's amazing. Like, you get to see, like, Skeletor, Skeletor, right? Like, the He-Man Big Bad. He, like, ends up doing a good thing, and this puppy dog is, like, licking him at the end. He's like, what? It's almost like he's the Grinch at the end.
Right.
He's like, why are you making me tear up? Or, like, I'm leaking or something like that, similar to the Grinch. And I'm like, what is happening right here? And then they throw in, like, these robots that kind of transform out of craziness as well, because it's a He-Man movie as well. And it's so good. And, like, I can barely even remember it. And, like, last year I was like, there was one. I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, are you sure about this? I'm like, it was.
Dude, I remember.
And I found it. And you can watch the entire thing
Yeah.
on YouTube, because I guess nobody...
He-Man had a Santa hat on in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was Prince Adam at the beginning, he's wearing a Santa hat, and they're doing like their own special holiday thing, and then one of them gets transported to Earth where he like saves some kids, and then they bring the Christmas spirit to everybody on Eternia. See,
so good.
I could just tell you the entire story right now, but that would be like an hour long, because it's like an hour long show.
It's good stuff.
But I mean, that's just some of the thing. We
could
could go all day long. Like, it's so many.
Do you remember like the Christmas Carol? Like I don't know what it was, but it was a television program. But it was like an after school special type of view. But it was the Christmas Carol of a like I don't remember what it was called a Christmas Carol, but it was just like done with a camcorder. It was it used to come on every year during the day.
I don't know if I remember that one.
It would come on like PBS. I don't know why I got sucked into that one, but I was
Dude,
like, eh.
I mean, it's a good story. Like, there's one with like Patrick Stewart, and that's probably my favorite one, that live action one.
Yeah.
There was even like a scarier type of one that came on like FX a few years ago.
Oh, Jim Carrey?
No.
Oh, okay.
But the Jim Carrey one's kind of creepy.
Dude, that one is straight
Because
creepy.
it's like, it's computer generated, but it's all lifelike.
He
I'm
is
like,
very.
oh my goodness.
He is a creepy old man in that
Yes,
movie.
he is. Yes. And it's one of those that's made like the Polar Express, where it's computer generated, but they make it to look as real as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And it's a freaky, weird one to think about there. Okay, so toys really quick there. So I haven't even got to the toys
You do,
because I
man.
was
It's all
excited.
good.
I'm telling you, I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite. I get carried away. Toys, thinking about like to childhood toys, I try to just look for like some of the most popular ones, trying to think about like the Turbo Man type of thing where everything gets sold out. There's one year that the Nintendo Game Boy came out, and it was a hot ticket item.
Yeah.
Because everybody loved Nintendo, but now you can take Nintendo with you, and all you got to do is have 4 AA batteries to put in the back, and you can play Kirby and Mario and all
Right.
of those. I mean,
Oh, man.
You could play Zelda out there.
Tetris was huge on that.
Tetris, because Tetris came with it.
Yep.
You bought the Game Boy, and it came with Tetris for free. It was sensational. Then the Super Nintendo, it was a big one there. Actually, I got that one year for Christmas, was the Super Nintendo. Thinking more like not me, myself, but like Cabbage Patch Kids were a huge thing. I remember my sister loved Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Troll dolls in the 80s were like huge, not like the trolls today, but because, there's like the movies and everything with the trolls today. One of the biggest ones was the Furby. Y'all remember the
yes.
Furby from
My
like
gosh.
94, 95? Like people selling Furbies for like $1,000, $2,000 to buy a Furby. And
Yeah,
you know when you get the Furby, it doesn't do anything. It blinks and makes weird noises. I'm like, some guy in Japan he's just swimming in money. He's just swimming in money because he's like, they're going to buy this stupid thing. It cost me $1.50 to make it, and it doesn't actually do anything at all.
No, it doesn't.
It didn't. I mean, literally, it blinked. Its mouth opened up and closed. I was like, it's like half the toys. Why are people paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for these things right here? I don't even understand.
Is it 94, 95? Is that what you said?
I didn't do the years for the
sure
toys
when that
there.
came out, but
It was there in that early '90s, mid '90s type of thing.
Yeah, I was not. I was totally zoned out on drugs by the time the Furby came out.
I was.
If it was 94, 95.
Because I was in middle school, but like my nieces loved it and stuff like that. But I mean, it was a huge one. And then another one that I never understood was the Tickle Me Elmo. Do you guys remember the Tickle Me Elmo thing?
Yeah.
That was also from the 90s. Like the 90s was this big, like, there's a one toy that everybody has to have and you're all going to cry if you don't get this.
Consumer target type
Yes.
area where like people like when did Black Friday start? Was that like in the late 90s?
Oh, I'm not even for sure. I mean, I feel like shopping always, like, a lot of shopping happened right after Thanksgiving, but they really pushed the Black Friday. I would say
Maybe
in
early
the 80s, 90s is when they began it. Because I remember people going in the 90s to go Black Friday shopping, but I never really partook in that. Maybe y'all remember this one. Y'all remember Teddy Ruxpin?
Oh yeah, what are you
I
talking
had
about?
one.
Yeah, man.
You
I
had a
didn't have
Teddy
one.
Ruxpin?
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Kyle can jump in here right now.
I did have a Teddy Ruxpin.
See, I never had the Teddy Ruxpin. I didn't have him, man. I
Out of
know.
all the stuff you don't need, that's the one you did need.
I'm sorry that I had my 300 Ninja Turtles that I was playing with instead.
I was fixing to say Ninja Turtles was definitely high on the list.
Oh, it's on there. It's the last one on my list of things. There was Ninja Turtles. But like Teddy, he would like read you a story, right? I mean, you put like the cassette in the back. I mean,
that reminds me of like Teddy Ruxpin commercials. I remember being on there like during the Smurfs, during the Care Bears. They would all be like I remember in that.
And they would have Teddy like reading a story about Care Bears or something like that, and be like, "Well, oh my, I'm watching this show, and he's going to read me a story about that. I need to go buy this right here."
It was a talking bear. Can you believe that?
It's one of those genius ones because you buy the bear, but then you have to go buy the books and the tapes for him to play everything to go with it.
Yeah.
So somebody was like, "People,
That's smart.
we got this going on. We're going to make this animal, but I mean, it's basically a tape recorder was all he is, and we're just going to put tapes in there, and his mouth's going to move up and down. He's going to blink while he does it,
Yeah.
and boom."
I think there's like video of people like altering Teddy Ruxpin and making their own tapes.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I can.
Of course they would. Of course they would. They ruin it all. All right, while you're looking there, man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is also big and huge and massive and gigantic, and is probably one of the things that I asked for the very most. I had a lot of them. I sold most of them, but I still have the original 4. I have Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello.
Dude,
with all their
that's pretty crazy.
original equipment, of course. And then Transformers. I think we all love Transformers.
I had some of them.
They were robots that turned into cars and trucks and tanks and airplanes and dinosaurs. Pretty much every boy would be like, yes. Like right now, if I could have a robot that turned into a car, be like, let's roll, Bumblebee. Let's do this thing.
Dude, for sure.
And the big thing I had was, remember the G.I. Joe figurines?
Oh, G.I. Joe, Yo Joe.
Bro, I love G.I. Joe.
I've conditioned my child. I'll say something, be like, and you'd be like, oh, be like, blah, 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 blah. Be like, and knowing is half the battle. And then Emma goes, G.I. Joe, every single time. I'm like,
Dude,
she's never even watched an episode of G.I. Joe, but I got her to say
well
that right
conditioning her very well. Good job. Yeah,
I
man,
do
G.I.
remember
Joe,
them.
man. We need to do an episode, and you guys let us know, an episode on G.I. Joe PSAs.
All of them.
Do
Like
them all.
the regular ones, and then the not so regular ones that you showed me at one
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is hilarious.
I got to let you guys see, my neighbor showed me something called Ace Vein. Holy Mother Mary. It's like those videos I showed you, but on way, way worse. We'll watch that after. Y'all can't see that, okay?
Y'all can look it up for yourselves.
There we go. All right. So I got the waiting for Santa, but I can hit that up later if we want to move on there.
I mean,
I've been rambling and bambling, so we got to get somebody else going. Like, Kyle!
Yo.
Movies, man. What about some movies for you, man? What's your fancy tickling happy time Christmas movie?
The ones that would remind me of Christmas, The Christmas Story, yes.
The Christmas Story.
I remember seeing it. And when this new one came out, the part 2, where Ralphie's all grown up, I watched it. It was actually on a few nights ago. And it's pretty cool. It ain't like the original, but it may be if I watched it as many times as I watched the original. It may be pretty cool, but I watched it whenever that comes on, and whenever that comes on, and then what was that one? They made it, and they remade that movie, Scrooge. Okay, they remade that movie. I can't remember when it was remade now, but we watched it growing up, and then here recently I found out. Well, I didn't find out. I seen it on TV, and it was just like the original one.
Well, Scrooge was Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where he had a ghost of Christmas past and presents, and then they would take him and to all these little places. I watched it, and I was like...
Now, there was the movie Scrooge with Bill Murray as well.
Yeah. Yes.
That came out in 1988.
This was after that, and then they remade another one. I can't remember who the guy was that played it, the main guy. But I watched it, and I was like, man, it reminds me of my childhood when I seen that. I really liked that movie. And I didn't really watch too many classic older movies as I do now, as the movies I watch now at Christmas time. Like when The Grinch come out. We watch The Grinch all the time now. And I really like the Polar Express movie.
I love the Polar Express, man.
Polar Express is good.
How it's kind of like animated-ish.
I could
But
say,
it's kind of real.
and watch that in a movie theater, and there's a whole bunch of grown men that were tearing up there watching that right
what
there.
are you talking about, man?
I ain't
Oh,
seen
man.
it in the big screen.
Oh,
I bet it's,
I remember
it's better.
because I love Christmas. I was like, so we're gonna go watch this Christmas movie in the movie theater, right? Yeah, we did. And you're just like, I'm not crying, you're crying. It's fine. I just
The wind blowing in here. Get my eyes watering.
my allergies are kicking up. I know it's December. I don't care.
Who does a cheeseburger with onions? You don't need cheeseburger before you come in here. So, yes, I really like that one. I'd probably rank that probably like my top 3 or 4. And then The Grinch, I like it now. The one with Jim Carrey, the real version. Because they got a cartoonish version of that one. But I don't like it like I do the other one.
Well,
like
that was old when we were young.
Yeah.
And we watch it a lot, like even now. And there's another one that my wife really likes, The Nightmare Before Christmas with Jack the Skeleton.
Yes,
So
it's an excellent one because you can watch it from Halloween through Christmas.
Mm-hmm. But she watches that one all the time. And there's another one kind of like that, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, shoot. I can't remember what the name of the other one is, but she watches it. Like on the classic movies, though, I don't remember a whole lot of them that we watched, like growing up. We've gotten more into the Christmas movies now than we did like the older classic ones. Paco, you remember any of them?
Man, I got a lot. So obviously, Christmas movies specifically, Christmas Story was good. The Gremlins, you guys remember the Gremlins?
Yes.
Was it a Christmas flick?
It came out at Christmas time. Yep.
I remember the Gremlins. But
I didn't watch the Gremlins when I was little. They scared me because I was scared of everything. So
I will put in the Christmas Vacation, the original with
That was going to say
Chevy
yeah.
Chase.
That's
Yep,
the
I left that one off because I didn't watch it when I was little because, was not appropriate. So my parents were like, we're not watching that right there.
I definitely, I watched. I wasn't necessarily allowed, but I just kind of,
Would y'all like to know a sad fact? The girl who was the sales girl
Yeah.
in the bit. Yeah, on January 6th, she's going to turn 70 years old.
Oh my gosh,
What?
bro.
I just saw that fact the other day. I was like, oh, I'm so very sad inside right now. But I mean, like Chevy Chase is like 80 something or something.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. We got obviously Home Alone. We talked about. I remember the Santa Claus movie. Remember that one?
Oh,
Which
Holy
one?
cow!
Yes.
Holy
with
Mother
Tim
Mary.
Allen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. They had the Muppet Christmas. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go, you go ahead.
Muppet Christmas Carol. Remember that one?
No, I don't remember Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh,
And like
man.
Kermit and everybody in it.
Yeah, man, it was good. Miracle on 34th Street.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
I have not
You
seen that one in a while though.
Man, bless your heart. You've been neglected.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, man, you just need to like go home and open up Hulu. Hulu has like half these movies on there.
So Prancer, remember Prancer?
You gonna make me all sad, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get over here and cry about
Prancer,
Prancer.
man.
And now look, you're like, no.
No,
We used to
he's-
watch that in school, man.
Yes.
And you'd be like, why are you making the fourth graders watch this movie? Is Prancer gonna be okay?
Some odd ones that people don't. Lethal Weapon came out at Christmas.
Are you gonna go for the great one? The one that is always debated if it's a Christmas movie or not?
Oh, of course, yes. Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie.
It's 100% a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. Something tells me, just by your facial expressions, that you've never seen Die Hard.
Have you never seen Die Hard?
Am I wrong?
Not all the way through.
Bro, there's
Half of
three
these
them.
movies he is saying, I'm trying to think
There's three of them.
if I've
Oh
seen
man,
them.
no, there's way more.
Well,
They're like the original.
isn't there like three?
There's Die Hard. There's Die Hard 2. Then we have
Die
like
Hard with a Vengeance.
yeah, and then like there's like Die Harder or something like that.
There's
some newer ones that they made.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Not saying they're any good.
Die Hard
Okay,
with
so
a-
we need to have like a Die Hard movie marathon. 5 of them: Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live for Your Die Hard, A Good Day to Die Hard. 5 of them.
That last one, they're pulling for everything they got on that one.
That was in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Bruce Willis was going downhill.
Let's see.
Dude, you gotta watch Die Hard.
For sure, bro. You gotta
Apparently.
watch that.
I mean, just as an action movie, it is top notch.
Now, some the Smoky Mountain Christmas was always playing at some point in the house.
Smoky Mountain.
That was
Christmas.
Dolly Parton, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking through, trying to make sure my still Magnolia. No, negative. You ever seen Trading Places?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, where were you? What were you doing as a child?
We was outside playing.
Damn, you just don't. There's all kinds of Silent Night. Y'all remember Silent Night, Deadly Night?
I remember them talking about that, but I haven't seen that one.
The Santa Claus movie was this guy.
I don't remember that.
But Tim Allen was the Santa Claus. When Harry Met Sally. No, that's not a Christmas movie. Definitely not. Scrooged. That was a good one.
Yeah.
You brought that one up.
Mm-hmm.
Polar Express is definitely a good one.
So it's like a handful out of his big genre that I actually remember.
All right. So yeah. Moving on. We talked about what we talking about. We're talking about toys. Okay, Castle Grayskull. All right.
Nice.
He-Man toys in general.
I don't think I had a whole lot of He-Man toys.
Man, I love freaking He-Man.
I remember you did because I'd come over when we was kids and he'd have them all strolled out.
Bro, man.
Like they getting ready to go to battle.
Love some damn He-Man.
Yeah. My cousin, when he got into high school, he gave me all of his He-Man toys. I had just a plethora of He-Man.
Oh my god. I still watch He-Man to this day.
He-Man is so good.
It's good.
It's so good.
I got a DVD box set of just I think every episode they ever made. It's amazing.
I had to watch a couple of them.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of cheesy, but it just brings back memories.
It is. I mean, it's literally a TV show. They had the toys, and then they came up with the TV show to sell the toys.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's they got the acting where it's like must fight back. I am stuff like that. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
but you know
Bro.
what? You know what everybody did? Went and bought He-Man toys.
You dang straight. I mean, everybody's like, I want to be ripped in a loincloth
Yeah.
and a sword.
It was genius because the body style was the exact same for everybody. They just put on different heads.
Yeah,
They were like
that's
color.
right.
They were like, well, we're gonna make this one. He's gonna be blue.
He's gonna be blue.
This one's gonna be green.
He's gonna have a skull as a head.
There we go.
right.
And then you're like, I have to have them all now, right?
Yeah,
And
go-
then you had them all there.
And then remember when Beastmaster came out? Remember that show, the guy with the ferrets?
Yes.
We were like, bro, this is kind of like He-Man, but this is not exactly the same as He-Man.
Yeah.
You know,
And hey, there was even a He-Man movie that came out.
Dolph Lundgren was He-Man.
I know.
It was bad.
It was really terrible.
It was terrible.
And then they're like, well, the cartoon has given us like 87 characters. We're going to use 2 of them.
I remember thinking, man, these guys are not as big as He-Man.
No.
What are we doing?
No. And they didn't even, and they came to Earth and they just hung out on Earth like in a 1980s streets. I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't this a fantasy movie?
I will say
I wanna-
Skeletor in that movie,
Skeletor was awesome.
he was awesome.
He was awesome.
They
looking.
looked. But I just like kept thinking, like the Incredible Hulk was huge.
Yeah.
And real looking. And then
Yes.
they got He-Man. I was like, I get it, he's big, but
Dolph Lundgren's a good action star, but
not
like
that.
yeah, like Lou Ferrigno's an actual gigantic human being.
Yeah, you
he
know.
was perfect. Like we're gonna spray paint this guy who has muscles on top of his muscles, and there you go. That's what He-Man should have been as well.
For sure.
I mean, really, they should be like, "Hey, Arnold, would you like to be He-Man as well as being Conan and everything else?"
Can you say Turbo Man for me one more time?
Hold on. A Turbo Man.
That's so good.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. The Turbo.
Turbo Man.
Turbo.
You said Tibbo.
I couldn't. Wow.
Y'all remember Billy Banks and Tybo?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why that came to my mind. I don't know. It's like a rattling pop can in there every once in a while.
I guess.
When you start thinking about the past, other stuff just comes flooding out there, man.
Man,
The rest of the time, you don't even think about it, and then you're like, "Wait,
I want to
those
try.
are things."
You know what we should try? We should try Alpha Brain one time before we do a podcast.
What is Alpha Brain?
Alpha Brain's on it. It's Joe Rogan and Aubrey Marcus's company. It's like enhances memory and cognition. And
Oh wow!
I would love to try that. It's no. I don't know what's in it, but I hear plenty of people say that it works on like your memory. You
Really?
can recall stuff. I'm
Wow.
like, dude, I want to check that.
That'd be awesome because I can recall less and less as time goes by. like thinking
Oh,
about
for
this,
sure.
man. It's like triggered all these different like cartoons and things that I watched at Christmas time. I'm like, oh man, I could have added some more stuff to this list.
Oh man,
But I can't remember the names of some of them. But I just remember like snippets of the shows and everything.
dude. At times I can't remember people's names I talked to like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm like,
I've seen people out now that I know we went to school with and that you would know them if you seen them. But I can't tell you their name for nothing.
bro,
Like, who in the hell? I know you. I met a guy a few weeks ago like that. I sat and talked to him for 15 minutes.
nobody
He-
knows
he-
who I am.
and
'cause I don't look
he
like
remembered my
anybody
name,
else.
but I didn't remember his. And I had to ask him. I was talking to another friend of mine on the phone. I said, "You remember this guy we went to school with, and he dated this one girl?" He's like, "Yep, that's whoever it was." And I can't remember his name now. He said, "Yeah, that's so and so." I don't know how the hell you remembered his name. You just off of a handful of clues that I give you. And I sit there and talked to him for 15 minutes, and I knew him. We went to school with him, but I couldn't remember his name.
You know, I just said what I just said, and you're right. I mean, I act like people know who we are because of Facebook. You know, people see our face. Well, you don't post your face hardly ever, but I have a tough time recalling people's names. I'm like, man, I know you. I know you know me. I mean, I don't care. I'm like, what is your name? Tell me what's your name again? I'm sorry.
One more time. Okay, it's in the bank.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just get your number, and then I'll put your name with it. You want to take a selfie real quick, and then I'll put your pic, the selfie next to your phone number.
I mean, that's what you got to do. At this point in time, I've taught like 1,400 kids.
Yeah.
And they come to me, and now some of them are like 25, 26 years old. And they're like, "Mr. Ballard, how's it going?" I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't remember who you are. Can you say your name?" And I don't even feel bad anymore because I mean, like, they're like full-grown men with beards. I'm like, "Taught you when you were 9. You've changed a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you can't remember all those people.
No. No. Like, usually when they say their name, I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, but I have to, like, dig. My brain's going through all these files. Like, why are there so many people that you know? Oh, my goodness, it's too many.
Dude, that's the way of playing the band all those years. People are like, hey, man, you remember me? Man, we like, no.
Nope.
Don't hate me, but I don't remember you at all. Give me something, other clues or something. But
Growing up, man, you do so much between from when you're a kid growing up till you now. You did so much in life, and you've met so many people. It's hard to remember all of those names now.
Yeah. So like, you start cutting stuff from, like, when you were little. You're like, all right, well, some of that stuff's got to go. And then, when we do
Yes.
shows like this, it brings back those memories. I love it that it does. And
yeah, you can slowly crop your life. It's like you crop a video or anything else. Slowly, you can crop a little bit of your stuff and then kind of squeeze it together. And yeah, I can't remember. What did we do? Yeah, you remember one time we was out there cow tipping? Oh, yeah.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, sure.
And then a year from now, if you see him again, you're like, what the hell we do? We did something together when we was younger. What?
Something about cows. Do we raise
Yeah.
cows?
Yeah, what we do?
No, do we?
Did we drag race them or something? We ride them? Or?
Hold on.
did not
Drag racing cows.
No, that did not happen.
I feel like you would remember that.
Not where
That's
I
a
live.
memorable thing. Drag racing cows. That's like top tier. Like, yes. Because that only happened one time ever.
You couldn't have caught me on getting on top of a cow. I remember one time we were at a friend's house. Like, you want to go cow tipping? I'm like, what is that? Like, we go push them over when they're sleeping. I'm like, no.
It's a very large animal.
I'm like, why? I was like, they weigh 1,000 pounds. What if one falls on me or falls on you? You're right. I ain't picking it up.
Yep. What if we push one just a little bit and it gets mad?
And then
He thought he was asleep, but he wasn't.
And then I had this dude ask one time the same night. I never forget. We were over at Tori Lasley's house, and he was like, "Y'all want to go looking for shrooms?" I'm like, "What is a shroom?" He's like, "It's these mushrooms, man. We eat them, and we basically started talking about we can hallucinate and yada yada yada." I was like, "No." I was like, "Where do we find them though?" He's like, "There's a cow pasture right over next door," and I'm like, "Well, and what's that got to do with the mushrooms?" He's like, "We got to pick up the poop. It's underneath the poop." I'm like, "Are you crazy?
It's like,
You eat those?"
You're not hallucinating. You're poisoning yourself.
I said,
It's
I said,
fine.
no wonder you see shit. You're eating crap. No. I'll take alcohol. I know that's probably not the right answer. I'm just saying.
Sorry, mystery mushrooms or no. That's always a no, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Christmas time, yeah. That's
Is
the
it-
oldies, man. We was growing up, Christmas time, it's times was much more simple then.
Yeah.
Way less to worry about or even care about. I didn't care about nothing. Not till I was able to drive. And then I started working in little odd jobs, and I got a job at a nursery, working to save up money to buy my first car. You remember that first car I had? It was a 1978 Ford Thunderbird.
Oh, yeah, I
It
remember.
was baby blue. It was long.
And
Man, it was a long car.
if y'all catch this intro, he talks about it in the intro.
Yeah.
What kind of trunk did it
It had a
have?
dead body trunk in it. You put 8 people in it. I never put no dead bodies in it, but 3 or 4 of my buddies wanted to go driving one night, and they ain't had no money. I had that car, and I said, well, when we get up here close, y'all just get in the trunk. And don't be back here hitting on something. And then I'll get you in. And me and my girlfriend went up there looking like we was having date night. And then when we went and parked, I popped open the trunk, then all my buddies got up. And we did that several times watching the thing. So that was a time when things were simple, Christmas time.
For sure.
Man, we had the family traditions. Our favorite gifts that we always liked, or we asked for 6 months before Christmas time, hoping that it'd be there. And just making them childhood Christmas memories. You just can't never forget them times. It's like having your own little joyful moments that we talk about now. They're just like having them joyful little moments in them old memories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Parker, I'm going to ask you, how did you find joy in the little things back in the day? What'd you do?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I was a kid, man. We were kids. If we're talking about the 80s specifically and then the 90s, well, I was a kid, and I was just happy to be able to kind of play and do what I wanted when I wanted. I really wasn't, too worried about capturing the joyful moments back then. I was just trying to, do what I wanted to do and play with who I wanted to play with, get my friends over, go over to their house, whatever, go play Army, jump stuff on the bicycles, four-wheelers, whatever we could get ourselves into, play basketball. I remember us spending a lot of time outside. I still found time to watch some movies, but we'll address that later. No worries. Well,
I remember I was just trying to pick up on the bicycle thing. 'Cause, man, we rode in bicycles till we wore the tires out.
Yeah, for sure. But looking back, I cherished and I'm very thankful for those times that we had. That I could do what I wanted to do. We were in a position financially and whatever you want to call it. Just geographically, I could go out on a field and roam around, and there was no phones. If I couldn't get a hold of you, the great thing for me is I always had Kyle around. Most of the time he was around. We always had something to do together at some point. And
that's good because one was busted up. At least you had somebody there to go get somebody to help us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Cause we busted up ourselves quite a few times, but we was able to get out of it ourselves. But there were some times it's pretty close.
But the traditions, man, Grandma would always talk about Jesus and the Lord, and this is, she'd always say, she said this a million times during the Christmas season, was Jesus is the reason for the season. And we would just, we'd leave up the Christmas decorations till New Year's, and food was always, the leftovers seemed to last forever. And we just go play and go have fun and go. Family would stop by every once in a while, that we haven't seen later after Christmas, I guess because they were off work or whatever. And we would visit with them. But I was just looking back. I was just grateful that I was able to experience a childhood like that. Yeah, it was a good time. I wasn't thinking about cherishing the moments when I was a kid. I was just being a kid. And we didn't have necessarily any major traditions other than Christmas morning, keeping Santa on lockdown, and then eating the Christmas meal, and then just having fun. Grandpa would get new stuff, and he'd like to go out in the garage and test it out, or do whatever out there in the garage, create things. And he was an innovative person for sure. Yeah.
How about you, Shannon? You have any family traditions back in, and do you have any now that you still do from way back when you was a young pup?
Oh yeah, Christmas being my favorite, it came that way because my family loved Christmas. We did lots of things for Christmas. One thing that we did the weekend after Thanksgiving is when the Christmas tree goes up, decorations get done.
For sure, yeah.
That's when it happens. Not in September, not on Labor Day. We're not putting up the Christmas tree or anything like that. So that's what we did when I was little, and now that's what I do. If you try to put up a Christmas tree beforehand, my daughter's gonna be like, it hasn't even been Thanksgiving yet.
Yeah.
We're just skipping over a holiday. We're not gonna do that. So we don't. So that Friday after Thanksgiving, I don't go Black Friday shopping. I get up, I get out all my totes of my things. Well, this year I did get the totes out a little bit early just so I could get into the decorating a little bit faster there.
Yeah.
But we put up everything. We usually put up most of the stuff, and then the tree would be the last thing. The tree's usually Sunday afternoon, the tree would go up, and then boom, we're ready for Christmas time. We would always go around and look at Christmas lights when I was little. We didn't.
Oh man. Yeah.
We didn't really necessarily come to Noble Park because we didn't live here in Paducah. So, but we would just drive around places in Mayfield. I think we went to Noble Park a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just drive around because back in the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of people that decorated outside for Christmas.
100%.
Now it's a few and far between thing. Like to your house, I think I saw 3 houses that were actually really decorated.
Yeah.
You saw a few little strands. But I'm like, I'm not going to count that.
No.
You put up 300 little lights and you just put them in a line. No, I mean, like the all-out decorating, people don't do that as much anymore. You go to specific places.
Yeah.
But we still do that. Like tomorrow night, we're gonna go to Noble Park and we're gonna go through and we're gonna get that Christmas music blaring and everything.
Have you been there yet?
Not this year.
It's phenomenal this year. I got to say, I'm very happy with.
I
We've
heard
been there
that.
4 times already,
Nice.
and it's well done. It's
I'm
better than
excited.
Mike Miller this year.
Nice.
Yep.
I love it.
I heard they added some more stuff. We haven't got a chance to go through it yet.
Yeah, they did add. They added some stuff. They got the radio, and the lights that go with the radio, go with the music.
Sweet.
Yeah, they did a good job. And
That's awesome. I'm excited for it. There. So,
Good stuff.
Christmas candy. We make Christmas candy, and it's like we would make. My mom would make fudge, and one of my favorite things, peanut butter balls.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, I love some peanut butter balls. And you only get it Christmas time. That's it. You don't make it any other time.
You make
And-
them?
No, because I was never good about rolling the balls or anything. I would help eat them.
Yes. Yes.
But like we make Christmas candy today. Like even today, like we have Oreo balls at home, and we have like little Ritz crackers with peanut butter, and they're dipped in chocolate. We got pretzels dipped in chocolate. We got peanut butter and chocolate fudge. So we have all kinds of Christmas candy. One thing I did when I was little that is I told somebody about it, and they're like, "What? That's weird." Like I would take red and green construction paper and cut it into strips and make it into a chain. And then like every day of like on December 1st, you would start to peel off a chain. It'd be like a little advent calendar thing.
Yeah,
and once
right.
you get to the end, you're like, it's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time.
Woo!
Yes.
That's an exciting thing. And then like my parents started giving me like an advent calendar that has like the little chocolate. Now the advent calendars are like intense type of things.
We got this little thing. Yeah, it's like a candy cane, and we move it up today.
Yeah. Yeah, we have like a little magnetic Santa. But like Emma always has a little advent calendar that she does every year, and you peel off something, and it's like a new little toy or a doodad or something like that.
Yep.
She's had like little mini Lego sets
Oh,
before.
yeah.
I think last year was like Avengers, and like you had different minifigures, or like there's like a Spider-Man wearing a Christmas sweater.
That's cool.
Lego thing. And then like for the actual holiday itself, Christmas Eve would always be at my parents' house. Even when I was little, we would open up most of our gifts Christmas Eve night. People were like, "What? You don't do a Christmas Day?" I'm like, no, we do it Christmas Eve night. We exchange gifts. What we do, it takes a long time. We go one at a time. Like my dad opens a gift, and then we all watch him open a gift. Then my mom opens a gift, and we go around and we watch everybody open their gifts. And like 3 or 4 hours later, we're still going. We take a break in between because we have punch that we make, and we go drink some punch. We usually eat our food beforehand, and then we don't eat dessert until like our little break in between. And it's a whole adventure there, and we still do that. When my grandparents were alive, we would go down to their house for Christmas Day, but now that they passed away, we don't do that anymore, sadly.
Yeah.
But-
stuff.
I don't know. That's some of my traditions there that we rock out and enjoy.
Sounds like a busy weekend and week
Very busy.
for Christmas time around your
It's
area.
really super nice that I get off work on December 15th, and I have 10 days before Christmas to be able
Come
to
on.
do stuff, and
That's awesome.
it helps out immensely.
Yeah.
And then the week after Christmas, I just like veg. I'm like, done.
Yep. Just chill out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So Eric, what about some of your favorite gifts? We're gonna try to hit up some gifts here at the end.
Yeah, so my favorite gifts from my childhood Christmas. He-Man, top one, number one. Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Oh, that's right.
You lost me.
Of course we did, because Kyle did not watch television.
I watched TV as a kid. No Saturday, no after school specials for Kyle. None. Nintendo.
I played Nintendo.
Okay, Nintendo was the top hot commodity, buddy. Loved it. Laser tag.
Which one had the
Laser
vest?
tag.
Had the
thing
vest
you
and
had to
little,
shoot at
yeah.
the thing on
That was
the
some
vest.
futuristic, like crazy stuff.
I mean, people still do it today.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of laser tag, and this is completely, it's not laser tag related, but
Are we going to go play laser tag?
no, that'd be cool.
If we can, there's a place down the road.
So, at work, somebody had the TV on. I don't know what channel it was on, but it was like the old Lions Gate or the Lion Roar, and I was like, or MGM,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's an old movie. And I started playing. I was like, I think that's Star Wars. It was the original Star Wars. So I peeked around my head around the corner. It is. So I have this really bad problem with, I'll be taking care of customers and the TVs, and then we get people that can't hear worth of shit, and they're cranking it up. I cannot unhear what's happening behind me. Right? I hear everything.
Yep.
So I literally started listening to Star Wars and started watching some of the Star Wars, and I sat there and said, I'm going to have to watch this.
Yes!
I was like, I'm going to have to watch this.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, man.
Matt, if you're listening, if you catch this episode, I'm going to have to watch it. I kind of liked it. I was intrigued. I was like, I'm going to have to check this out.
Was that the original, the first one?
Yeah, it was the original one that was on. So,
I
yeah.
was going to say, okay, if you ever need, I have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and streaming as well.
Well, I think we need to get together with Next Door, because he's a nerd on Star Wars, just like you are. And maybe throw back a few sarsaparillas and just enjoy the film. Yeah.
Yes.
So laser tag, Ninja Turtles, huge.
Teenage Mutant
Freaking love Ninja Turtles.
Snapchat.
I had all of those. I had the special edition ones. I had Krang. I had 2 or 3 shredders, and all these special versions.
Did you have the Super Shredder from the movies?
No, I didn't have him.
The roided out Shredder.
Yeah, the roided out shredder. That was a wrestler. That was Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Let's see who that was. Yep. He was Shredder in that movie. But those were my big highlights. And then I started listening to Black Sabbath and Megadeth, and everything kind of changed.
Nice.
It all changed. How about you, Kyle?
I didn't have all them toys.
I know.
I had the G.I. Joes.
That's
Yo,
good.
Joe.
I had them. And I had Mr. Potato Head. When I was a kid.
Okay.
Mr.
All right.
Potato
I
Head.
had a Mr.
Gotcha.
Potato Head. Because he used to ride on my bicycle with me until he'd fall and bust into 100 pieces, and I'd go running and scatter and pick them
And then
all
you
up.
spend the next 15 minutes trying to find all them pieces.
Yeah,
Put them
man.
back together, and I'd put them back on the bicycle. When I was a kid, I remember riding around with him. Man, a lot of them toys that y'all had, I don't remember having. I had the G.I. Joe. I used to have Legos. We used to play with Legos all the time. And then when I discovered, do you remember the Lincoln Logs? The little
Yes.
brown logs.
Yeah, man.
Ring
So
alarms are
when I
awesome.
discovered that we had Lincoln Logs, I think Mom got me a big, huge box of them.
They came in like a cylinder, and
Yep.
you could slide them in.
And I would build stuff all the time with them. And I'd put my little G.I. Joes in it.
Yeah.
And I'd run through there and kick it and knock the whole thing down, blow it up. I'm like, oh, look at there. Don't worry. I know an architect. We'll build another one.
I love it.
And we'd build another one. So I remember playing with stuff like that. And then the little
Getting old.
Mattel cars and the Hot Wheel cars.
Oh, some Hot
Oh,
Wheels
my
cars.
gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I think
man.
out of everything that I didn't have, I made up for it with one of them.
Hot Wheels play sets?
Yes.
Yeah.
If a 10-pack of something come out of one little hot rod version, Mom would go get it for me. And I had so many collections of different kind of hot rods, the trucks and the cars, and then the Corvettes, and then
Yeah, man. Did you
everything.
have the garages, and you had with the racetrack
Mhm.
things that would you could slide, and they would just go You remember the commercials for those?
Vaguely, but yeah.
Do you remember, like, if you go back and look at, dude, even now, those commercials, you're like, bro, I want that still. They did a good job of, like, pulling you in, like, you need this.
Then they first came out, and I know y'all remember them. They had the track that you could put together and build your own little track. And they had these cars. Mm-hmm. They had this little piece of felt on the bottom of this car that connected on that track. And as long as that little felt touched that track, that was our first little remote control cars on the track. And as long as that little felt touched that track, you could, like, it was remote control. And you just put your little AA battery in that remote, and you can sit there and you can drive your car. And then you can have your friend come over and y'all could race around the track. But if you get it too fast or you built your track with too many sharp curves in it, the car would jump off and hit the carpet.
Mm.
Wow.
And
I didn't have that, man. That's cool.
And you had to put the car back on the track. It had a little piece of felt, it almost felt like carpet. And that had to touch the track, and then the car would run all over the place.
Huh. You know, I remember this remote control car. I didn't have too many of those as a kid, but I had this one that was probably the coolest one I've ever had. It was called Trax. Trax. Mm-hmm. And it was like a Silverado. It was like a truck, and it had like those conveyor belt tracks at the front. And it was sitting like this.
Was it like the tank tread type of thing?
Yes. It was the coolest freaking remote control I've ever had.
I remember those.
Now they've come such a long way with them now. Gosh. They can get gas-powered ones that run like 80 miles an hour.
Oh, I've seen, like, I remember one time at the Walmart parking lot in Mayfield, there was just like half the lot was closed off, and you see this like track all set up. I'm like, what is going on? And it's these people racing remote control cars that are gas-powered.
They have like
and you see them, and they have like this remote that's like this big. And I'm like, what? There's so many knobs and everything. What is going on? And they're just like, I'm just like, I want one of those things. I know I can't have it, but I want that. It drives so fast.
They have little competition and stuff now, them things. And yeah, they'll set up a big dirt track with like jumps and stuff on it. And they just race these things. And I don't know how they see them.
No, because it's a little bitty. Like if you get to the other side of the track, how do you still see it and keep it on the track at that point in
like
time?
50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Boom. Whose car was that?
And it's not like, and they were like standing flat on the ground. I'm like, I would need to be up a little bit to be able to see what's going on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I found the 1990s when this thing came out. It's called RC Fast Tracks, 2Xs.
I think I remember something like that.
That's what it looked like.
Yes, I remember.
Ooh, I just had a cold chill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't want to see that. Come on, man. But those are going for $120 on eBay.
Wow.
What?
Dude.
You can get money in them gas-powered cars now. Them guys spend thousands on little big gas motors, and they just make them things run.
You sell your old stuff. Castle Grayskull. I sold my old Castle Grayskull for over $400.
Oh yeah. I mean, He-Man is huge.
Yes.
And it's pretty big in the what do they call it, the cosplay.
Yes.
It's pretty big.
Yep.
Or do you still got any of them toys as a kid, and then now?
Like my toys that I got?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I got lots of toys. But see, here's the deal. Here's the caveat for this right here. I was the youngest. I lived out in the middle of nowhere, and I had no friends to go hang out with. So it was me and my imagination. So I got toys.
That's fine, yeah.
So, like I got a Super Nintendo one year as I got a little bit older, and I still have that to this day. I can still plug it up and play my Mario Kart
That's
on there.
awesome, man. An original.
Yes. Probably one of the cooler toys I had is a G.I. Joe toy, because I had G.I. Joes too. It is called the General.
Oh, my.
It was a beast of a toy. It was the G.I. Joe's rolling base, and it has like a little helicopter on top of it. Ooh. And you pull it back, and it has like this gigantic rocket launcher in there. Like the bullets were like this big, and they would shoot for like 5 feet.
Dang.
It was impressive.
I had a fort, but I don't remember having that one, the General. I had that.
You probably had the base.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The base would be worth a ton right now, just FYI.
Yeah.
I still have the General. It's down in my parents' garage. It's gigantic.
Is it in the box still?
No, I do not have it in the box.
Don't you have a lot of yours in boxes and stuff?
Well, only a few. Most of them I opened up out of the box.
Okay.
But I got to say, probably my favorite toy from childhood that I still have right now is this guy right here.
Freaking Optimus Prime.
This is Optimus Prime, everybody.
an original Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, this is him right here.
I'll show a picture.
You got to show a picture of
Yeah,
this right here because
I'll
I can't show it right there. But this Optimus Prime right here, he like has this trailer, but it transforms into like a little mini base. But then Optimus Prime can then transform into a bigger Optimus Prime, and he's like, it's the most amazing thing. I love it so much. I still have it. I'm not going to ever sell it. It's going to be kept.
That's a good call.
Like
would
I
not
have my
sell it.
original Ninja Turtles. I still have the original He-Man with Battle Cat.
Oh my gosh.
Like those aren't going anywhere. Those are going to go in a glass case one day because boom, yes,
For
those
sure.
are the guys. So I have, like when I got this Optimus Prime, it was like it's amazing. It's not like the original Optimus Prime, but like it was like the second or third version of this Optimus Prime, and it's so much fun because Optimus Prime is like probably one of my favorite like cartoon characters overall. Just
Transformers were really good.
just like the pure good leadership of Optimus Prime, and then like in the animated movie they like killed him off, and like people like cried and boycotted Transformers, and they had to bring him back because, well, they were like, we're just wanting to sell more toys. I'm like, you just killed like a role model to people.
Yeah, I mean, it was like G.I. Joe. You know, it's like what was it, Flint and Lady J, and what was the main guy, the blonde hair guy?
Oh, you had Duke.
Duke. Yeah.
You had Duke.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Duke was the leader of the Joes there.
Like Snake Eyes.
Oh, Snake Eyes was the
Destro.
coolest.
Oh, Snake Eyes was dope, man.
Oh man, Silent Ninja.
I even like the movies, man.
I did too. I love the movies.
Yeah, those are good.
Did you see there was a Snake Eyes movie?
I did.
Oh.
It's out, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man! It came out a few years ago. It's on one of the streaming services to watch.
I seen it. I watched G.I. Joe actually a couple days ago, and I was like, "Oh, look, I gotta watch that." It's a Snake Eyes movie. So, I think we're gonna kind of like wrap it up here, and we've kind of talked about Christmas traditions, nostalgia, and just kind of the whole landscape of Christmas for us back in the 80s and 90s.
The amazing times that we used to have.
It was good times.
Good
man.
times. Good times.
Good times. I'm glad we got good memories to look back on. And Kyle, we gave you. I'm sorry, you had a good time, but we got a lot of movies to catch you up on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we know the movies I have to watch to get caught up on stuff. But man, Kyle, first off, you watch Die Hard because that's just an action movie.
I need to watch it.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. We hope this brought back some like fond memories from you guys, and maybe even inspired maybe some new traditions that you don't have. You can start with your family, yeah. So Shannon, let some of the viewers know where they can find us besides on YouTube.
All right. Everybody, you can find us on Facebook at Within Earshot. Add us as a friend. We've got a lot of friends on there now. You can find us on Instagram at Within Earshot Podcast. You can find us on Twitter or X at Within Earshot 1. And you can check out some of our amazing videos on TikTok at the.within.earsho because we're so awesome we can't fit the T in there.
It's in the game.
Sports.
Sports. Kyle just like, I want to get chimed in there. Sports, everybody. Sports are great. Sports ball's my favorite.
That's right.
Sports ball.
And as always, you can find us on the Buzzsprout website, Within Earshot Podcast.buzzsprout.com.
Yeah. So until next time, Merry Christmas from all of us here at Within Earshot.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, don't do nothing I wouldn't do or name it twice.
Yeah. See you on the flip-flop.